Good morning, everyone. There is this meme that has been making the rounds on social media. Maybe you've seen it. It starts with the statement, if 2020 was a math problem, then it asks you to calculate if you're going down a river at 2 miles per hour and your canoe loses a wheel, how much pancake mix would you need to resheet your roof? I start lightheartedly, but for so many people around the world, trying to keep their heads above the water, this impossible calculation likely represents how 2020 has felt for them. For businesses, profit projections and growth models went into the shredder. Business plans and consolidation strategies became non-applicable. Instead, for so many, just one word mattered at the start of each day: survival. S-U-R-V-I-V-A-L. Survival has meant that liquor manufacturers switched from making fine spirits to hand sanitizers. Global retail giants and local seamstresses switched from making graduation dresses to making face masks. Thriving entrepreneurs switched from selling cars to selling vegetables. And chefs switched from preparing fine cuisine in restaurants to delivering prepped meals directly to customers' homes. In 2020, my friends, businesses in Barbados and around the world had to evolve rapidly to survive. I assure you that while COVID-19 has slowed our trajectory, it has not dulled our ambition. Indeed, it has raised our concern, but has never caused us to despair. What it has done is make it abundantly clear to my government that as leaders of a small island developing state, which is vulnerable to known and yet to be discovered forces of man and nature, our aim must be to give our people and our government a sufficient buffer. COVID-19, with all of its aftershocks, has set us, my friends, on a new mission: to evolve our ethos and survival strategy from one of national comfort to one of national prosperity. The question is, therefore, what would Barbadian prosperity look like? Prosperity needed to give us that buffer. A diversified, vibrant economy, a surplus of work opportunities, high levels of productivity, carbon neutrality, fairness, transparency, accountability, peace, and yes, good vibes. The more difficult question is perhaps the how. How does Barbados achieve this ambition of becoming a prosperous society? If we agree that the future of the world, and by extension the future of the Caribbean, is in technology, then technology, not for its own sake, must be seen to be able to be deeply embedded as an engine in every sector of our region. Then, the how for this future prosperity that we envisage will come as a result of making Barbados a hub, indeed the hub, of a vibrant Caribbean technology industry, tools that will lead us to prosperity. The world over, the digital technology revolution has been the most disruptive force in the history of mankind. Today, the 5 largest companies on earth are no longer those that sell or produce oil or goods or even service companies. They are all tech companies between 21 and 45 years young, yes, young, and are worth a combined $5 trillion. They remotely service 3.2 billion people connected to the internet, no matter where on earth they live, and all from tiny hubs in California, in Seattle, in Hangzhou. The advent of cloud computing, mega digital payment platforms, data engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics, genomics, lightning-fast broadband, and mobile connectivity, and of course social media, has completely transformed what we do and how we do what we do. For many, however, the invasiveness of this digital revolution, often referred to as disruptive technologies, has caused much distress. The widespread forecast of a near future where artificial intelligence, automation, and robots would drive into obsolescent skills and jobs in such areas as manufacturing, retail, transportation, the legal fraternity to which of course I belong, and yes, your profession, accounting, signals that there is still a future of much disruption. Leading global think tanks such as the World Economic Forum have researched and written extensively on the impact of digital technology on the global job market, and a common thread has emerged amongst experts. Technology will replace many of the jobs as we know them. There's no escaping this fact. But technology has and will also continue to create many new sectors and new jobs. I remember well the days of the Encyclopedia Britannica salesman as a child, well-dressed, respectable gentlemen, urging grandparents and parents to invest in the gift of knowledge to secure their children's future. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Barbadians would have invested hefty sums in those big, heavy leather-bound volumes that told you everything from the depths of the Mariana Trench to the distance between Saturn's rings, or even the migratory habits of East African elephants. Their books would have taken pride of place in many houses, in a display cabinet in a living room, under family photos. From their sales commissions, salesmen would have paid their mortgages, sent their children to school, and lived a good, respectable life. Encyclopedia Britannica, founded in Edinburgh, 1768, found in millions of households in every continent on the planet, faced obsolescence the moment a young Barbadian, Alan Emptage, created the source code for a search engine on a computer. I repeat, a young Barbadian. History, my friends, is replete with examples of kingdoms, societies, and companies fighting and losing battles against technological advancement. All things evolve. I think we now know that important things eventually becoming obsolete is an inevitable part of the cycle of existence. Our duty as a government, yours as business people, and us as a country as whole as we are, is therefore not to push back against technological advancement, but to embrace it and to shape it while retaining our values, for technology is simply a tool. We must build new models that ensures our people are well prepared and well equipped to thrive in a rapidly changing world. One of my advisors, Professor Avinash Prasad, is fond of saying, people are scared of robots taking over their jobs. But what if you owned the robot that was now doing your job? Put differently, what if Barbadian accountants were global experts, or better yet, owners of the software, the mobile apps, the artificial intelligence platforms, the machine learning algorithms, data mining processes, and the digital security protocols that facilitated the global digital economy? For all of its advantages over physical human capacity, technology cannot better or replace human skills of hospitality, of management, and of creativity. To become a prosperous, digitally enabled society, Barbados therefore will need to become a developer and early adopter of ideas and technologies that allow us to overcome the everyday disadvantages of being a small island developing state. Technologies that allow us to overcome vulnerabilities of our small population, our small economy, and our vulnerability to natural disasters. Technologies that allow us to leverage our assets of climate, geographic location, and of course, our collective creativity. The time is now to unleash the power of our creative imagination, to move our island beyond cautious incrementalism, and to enter a period of rapid, large-scale transformation and global distinction. On the 2nd of January of this year, I indicated to the country that I wanted you to join us on a journey that over the next 7 years will allow us to become world-class in everything that we do. I ask you to consider that this must still be our goal in spite of the intervention of COVID-19 and this global pandemic over the course of the last 10 months. My friends, because of technology, we know that the world no longer needs lamp lighters or switchboard operators or icemen or typesetters or even video store rentals. Because of technology, We now have software engineers, mobile app developers, video game designers, social media marketers, drone pilots, data scientists, and even remote workers, as we have shown. Because of technology, the work of teachers, architects, illustrators, engineers, movie directors, musicians, manufacturers, medical professions have all rapidly advanced, and in many ways so much more important and better for those who use these services. As leaders, we have to be prepared for the fact that sometimes there are going to be people that are less comfortable with technology, commonly referred to as Luddites. But this is not a uniquely Barbadian or even a new problem. With the advent of steam power in the 1780s, then electric power in the 1870s, then digital power in the 1950s, and now the internet and artificial intelligence technology, people question what will the technology do for their job security and their well-being. This is a legitimate and valid concern that we must properly address if we are to meet our objective of making Barbados a smart, digitally enabled nation. Despite being only in an early phase of our digital evolution, Barbados is in a position of strength. We have a sophisticated, highly literate, highly digital savvy population. We have a stable democracy, island-wide residential and commercial fiber optic internet connectivity, and greater than 95% mobile phone penetration. However, we're not yet where we want to be. Cashless, carbon neutrality, e-governance, e-identification, public sector innovation engines, tech entrepreneurship hubs, climate resilience infrastructure, free national-wide public high-speed internet. We have a lot of things in motion. All of these we are working on. We envisage a near future for doing business in Barbados that is paperless, cashless, and yes, even presenceless. But we need to move faster than we are. We must move faster, and COVID has literally forced that upon us. The role of my government, therefore, is not to inhibit technological advancement or to prop up dated modalities. The role of my government will be to ensure that people feel informed and confident that the right balance will be struck between innovation and fairness. Cooperation and compassion do not inhibit fast innovation. This is the framework that Barbados has and will continue to use to our advantage. Our success in managing the public health and economic challenges of the pandemic was not by chance. It was through wide national consultation, what I like to call rubbing shoulders, cooperation and sustained constructive dialogue with our social partners and wider. Through this, we have been able to find the careful balance of lives and livelihoods during this COVID-19 crisis. For we have said, no one group will be unfared and no one will be left behind. Charles Darwin, in his seminal work on the origin of species, wrote that, and I quote, "Those communities which included the greatest number of the most sympathetic members would flourish best," unquote. It is my belief that just like technological advancement is hollow without deep considerations of the human condition, empathy, altruism, and compassion, business and profits are equally hollow without a human-centric purpose. Job titles and specific tasks may grow less important and become obsolete, but my friends, people will never be obsolete. And this is and will always be the Barbados way, for we have always believed that we must focus always on our people. I believe the global shift of companies doing well by doing good, as they say now, completely aligns with Barbados' strengths and our values. We are unrepentant believers in people and partnerships in the pursuit of purpose-driven profits. I am on public record as saying that GDP can no longer be the sole measurement of our circumstances and outlook. The global economy, my friends, is not a zero-sum game. We want to build new industries with new jobs, requiring new skills, new types and categories of jobs that we have never had before in Barbados. We want to build world-class financial platforms and services in medicinal cannabis, in e-health, in e-education, well-being management, life sciences, culinary sciences, robotics, which we are introducing in our schools from this year, modernized manufacturing, elderly care, modernized agriculture, software development, data engineering, cultural industries, cloud engineering, fintech, cybersecurity, and esports, yes, esports, to name a few. We want to create new value chains and new ways to distribute opportunities. We want, my friends, to be in the business of possibility. We will strive to become a leading hub for experiments, for pilot and scale ideas, technologies and companies that are in pursuit of sustainable development goals which still remain as relevant today after the pandemic, even if it seems as though more difficult to attain them. F. Scott Fitzgerald once wrote, and I quote, "The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function." We are in the era of the well-being economy, and we need to adopt new measures of success and of prosperity. New measures such as a commitment and investment to building an evolved model of capitalism. A capitalism 2.0, if you will. Commitment and investment in evolving our high-quality legal and financial infrastructure into becoming a world leader in e-economy, e-finances, and e-security. Commitment and investment in a low-carbon future. Commitment and investment in a net zero job loss model that ensures for every job rendered obsolete by technological advancements, 1 to 2 new jobs must be created in response. This new type of capitalism, rooted in the best concept and precepts of democratic socialism, must enable a jobful post-COVID recovery for Barbados. As we have said throughout the years, there can be no serious economic recovery without jobs accompanying it. A recovery underpinned on the creation of large numbers of high-quality jobs in new and sustainable sectors and industries must always be the objective to which we aspire. A new capitalism model and economic recovery that fully embraces the global digital revolution, confidently expands what we do, and firmly establishes purpose as Barbados' pathway to prosperity. I invite you to join my government and to help us pave our pathway to prosperity in this wonderful island of ours through embracing and leveraging technology such that each and every Barbadian will benefit. Why? Because each one matters. I'm obliged to you and I thank you for your time. Have a good day.